Well,
yes.
But I think there's something we can agree on. Yeah?
Right.
The only time this year is allowed in law to prefer an opinion is when they want to make a recommendation on the decision to charge.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the DCI statement. I don't know what that statement discloses. It discloses a disturbing pattern of institutional arrogance. DCI is fond of retorting. I mean, they're doing a good job always, but in their mandate, mm-hmm. they have a pattern of exaggerating the outcomes of their findings. Mm-hmm. I mean, I have said, if you're investigating a factual matrix, mm-hmm. you say sequentially. Some persons arrived. It's a fact. We searched their bags. It's a fact. We discovered they were carrying election materials. That's a fact. We called IBC. That's a fact. IBC alerted us that we are aware that they're coming in. That's a fact. Whether IBC ought to have alerted DCI in advance or not, mm-hmm. based on prior experience, that is a matter of discretion. It's a matter of discretion.
Okay.
It is now DCI throwing tantrums on a position they can't have the last word on because IBC is supposed to have the last word. If they think they need security escort to move those stickers from JKI to a warehouse, they will do so. If they think it is the work of the contractor to deliver those stickers here in Nairobi and then to IBC warehouse, you must permit them the leverage or the liberty to exercise that discretion.
Okay.
If you are going to make an analysis because he questioned Chebukati's seriousness, that statement questions Chebukati's seriousness.
Everyone is questioning
now,
seriousness.
The only time DCI should do that is when they are supposed to end with a recommendation in the circumstances investigations disclose mm-hmm. an offense that has been committed. If you remove the name of DCI from that letter and you remove the name of DCI Kinoti down there as the someone who has signed it off, it would look like a political statement. The question that Kenyans must ask as well is this. Mm-hmm. In as much as we hold IBC to account, by the way, I've never been persuaded that IBC should be shielded from scrutiny. IBC by law, and SG got it very well, election in this country are highly sensitive, and election is about perception. If there is even the slightest perception that IBC is not doing things the right way, IBC must communicate with clarity.
All right.
And correct all those questions in the affirmative. But we cannot also sit somewhere digging dirt and trying to, as if you are trying to find out, if you don't get IBC on this matter, well, they're lucky. Can we try another matter? Is there a genuine concern in the law? Happening? I think based on the statement, I would prefer an opinion that DCI is pursuing a collateral agenda.
To whose advantage?
There is something, Sam.
There is something to whose advantage?
You know, they say, we say in law, no one knows the mind of God, the mind of man, except the Lord himself. I cannot tell the degree of precision that DCI has done this, the advantage of Kenya Kwanza or maybe Azimio. But what I can say, based on the fact, if you're going to provide an analysis, that analysis, all lawyers will agree, and these are lawyers, mm-hmm. it should terminate with the recommendation.
Okay.
Yeah, but the legal question, just this one. Mm-hmm. There is a rule called the but-for rule. But for the statement by Chebukati at midnight, do you really think we would have had this long statement by the DCI? Why don't you address the sensationalism in his initial letter that it is the one that has precipitated this response because there was a direct attack on the work of the DCI? You know, this is what precipitated the letter. They also have to explain themselves and exonerate themselves in the eyes of the public. Okay.
Which is rather unfortunate because I think they are paid by the taxpayers to do a certain job, which they should be doing. Anyway, we take a short break here. When we come back, we'll be talking about the presidential debates, or the debate that is, no, actually debates that are expected this evening. Who is attending, who is not, and what should be the concerns of Kenyans as we approach that hour after the break.